Hey, drop your pants. We're down to week 7. Congratulations, and here we go with food relationship. We've already been talking about this pretty much throughout the program. I've tried to introduce it in different ways. And today I want to talk to you about your concept of weight loss versus fat loss. And I want to start with that because I believe a lot of times we are trying to achieve weight loss when we don't know that we should be trying to achieve fat loss. Now let me tell you what weight loss is. Weight loss is where you try a program that's on the market, and there are a lot of programs out there that will achieve weight loss for you. You could find a number of them, including, say, Weight Watchers or Beachbody, or you name it, it's out there. You can find something that will achieve weight loss, but you're likely to also achieve muscle loss while you're achieving weight loss. Let me talk about why. You have an appestat. It's basically the thermostat connected to how your metabolism runs. Your metabolism is in charge of burning energy. It burns fuel for energy, basically. That's your metabolism. So let's say you're eating a 2,000 calorie diet, so your appestat burns 2,000 calories or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden you're going to try and achieve weight loss, and you restrict your calories. So now you're eating 1,500 calories, and you've done this for 3 weeks. 1 pound is equal to 3,500 calories. So if you restricted 500 calories per day for a week, that will be 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, etc. So by week 3, you will have likely lost 3 pounds. Likely. Now don't go and do that. Listen to me tell you why. Don't go and do that because it's not sustaining. It won't keep. Because why? Your body is smart. It will have figured out, and I can't give you a timeline because it's different to everybody, but it will have figured out what you're doing. And so instead of continuing to burn 2,000 calories like it was doing, it will only burn 1,500. So if you do have that extra protein bar or whatever, something over 1,500 calories, it's not going to burn it, and it stores it as fat. And here's a test question. What is the hormone that stores fat? Insulin. Okay, so that leads us right into fat loss. To review, we did weight loss just now, which is usually calorie restriction, calories in, calories out. We think it's going to go great, and then boom, it doesn't because it's not sustaining, because our body's appestat, which is our thermostat, resets itself, and now you're at 1,500 calories. You're on a rat wheel of calorie restriction, and you're not happy with where you're at, and you're frustrated, and you're like, I just want to feel better and lose weight. Well, let me tell you, fat loss is how you get there. Fat loss, I have my notes here. Fat loss is about resetting your hormones. That is how you're going to achieve weight loss in the terms of fat loss, lasting fat loss, because that is the key, resetting your hormones. I've set you up through the whole program, and I've been talking about different types of hormones. Let me bring it full circle. Let's talk about insulin again. Now, if you remember back from week, I think it was 3, when you eat, insulin is released in the body to take that food and store it in the cells as fuel. It stores it as fat. So as long as you're eating, insulin is up here. When you stop eating and your body starts to digest all that food, insulin lowers and growth hormone raises. That's the natural cycle. Now, when you burn insulin out because you're eating every 2 hours and it never gets to come down, you're also burning out ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone. Your body doesn't tend to figure out when you're hungry because you're feeding it all the time. It says, I don't know anymore. And then you burn out your leptin, which is your I'm satisfied or satiated, I'm full. You burn that out too because you're eating every 2 hours. Even if it's just a little bit, it counts. So, coming full circle, I want to bring this back to fat loss. The key to fat loss is getting your hormones in check. The key to feeling better in life is getting your hormones in check. The key to your overall health and wellness is getting your hormones in check. We don't know enough about hormones. I hate to tell you, but we don't. But I'm not going to leave you just there, because there is a test and there are a few things that we can do that we know about today. And the best thing you can do out of all this, if you take any of this, run with this. Continue to be your own detective. You have to try things that work on you and your body and your soul and your mind and your energy level. Because I could eat the very same thing that you do, and we will have different results. Because my body burns things differently than yours. My body responds differently than yours. It's the same thing you've heard when a husband and wife are doing a weight loss challenge, and the husband almost always loses more weight than the wife, and the wife is kind of ticked off like, we're eating the same things. Well, yeah, A, he's a dude, and that does matter. I'm not being sexist, but he's a dude. And B, his body burns differently than yours. His metabolism might run faster because he's trained his body for his metabolism to run faster. When you calorie restrict, it runs slower. It produces more cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone. I'm getting a little feisty here because I want to help you and I want you to hear this and I want you to change your mindset. So when you calorie restrict, your body starts messing with the cortisol. You're probably waking up earlier than you want to, and at night you're wired but tired. That's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to wake up and have energy, and then at night you're supposed to be tired. But when you have cortisol, it's your stress hormone, and it's being released so much because you're calorie restricting and you're getting frustrated, and oh my gosh, do you feel the anxiety? I do too. Take a deep breath. That was cortisol right there. I hope I did a nice demonstration of it. It's just another hormone in your body. It's another hormone that you need to be concerned with regulating. Now, it's easy for me to say, less stress, right? But there are things that you can do truly that can help reset cortisol. That's for a different video. That's for a video series I'll be releasing after this version of Drop Your Pants is done. Let me give you a few things that you can do today to help yourself with your hormones. First, the Dutch test. I am at the point where I am going to do the Dutch test. It's to test all my hormones. It's a dry urine test. You pee on 6 strips at home, you put them in the bag, and you mail it off. You could do it on your own. They'll email you the results, and they'll tell you everything that's going on with thyroid and insulin and estrogen and progesterone. Things like your body could think it has low progesterone, but really it doesn't. But your estrogen is so high that it makes your body think your progesterone is low. And it will give you practical treatment plans for how to fix it, or improve it, I should say, maybe not fix it. There are some doctors around in our area. All I did was call the Dutch test people, and I said, Dutch test people. I talked to a woman named Shauna. I said, Shauna, I live here. Where can I go to a doctor's office where they're actually giving this test and they're familiar? She emailed me a great list, and I will be calling. I know that my hormones are not in check, and while I feel as decent as I think I can with my nutrition, I know that for me, not having a period since I gave birth, my daughter's 21 months old, is not normal. And so I have not been able to solve that with nutrition, with sleep, with exercise. I haven't been able to solve that. I want you to be empowered. Go get the Dutch test. It is $250, and I guarantee you that's money that you have in your pocket if you're in this program. The next one I want to talk to you about is timed nutrition. It matters when you eat. I mentioned this earlier in the video. So instead of eating every 2 hours and turning insulin on, where it takes the food and stores it as fat for fuel, eat about every 4 to 6 hours, okay? Every 4 to 6 hours. Let me know if you've tried intermittent fasting, if that works for you. Let me know if you've tried macro phasing, if that has worked for you. Those are 2 ways that can help. If you're doing macro phasing, here is a suggested tip. I want you to try doing 5 bites of carbohydrates, non-starchy carbohydrates, okay? And I put a list in Drop Your Pants. I put a couple different lists. I put the JJ version pie shell. I put my list of non-starchy carbs, so refer back to that. Now the reason is the majority of us eat too many carbs in life. I certainly do not want to demonize carbs. They're great, you need them. Our cells run on glycogen. However, most of the time we eat too many of them. So if you want to reset your body's thermostat, which I know you do, for fat loss versus weight loss, start at 5 bites and then go from there and be a detective and be patient. You might have to try this for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. And then if it's working, great, continue it. And then if it's not, you know to be a detective. You need to go up or down in those 5 bites. And then the last one is your type of exercise. Now next week is the big lesson on exercise, but I can give you the summary right now. When people want weight loss, which they're doing instead of what they should be doing, fat loss, they go for a run and they hate it. And they stop running and then they throw the towel in with nutrition too. It's like, oh, screw it. You know, I can't run 3 miles. I'm never gonna do this. And the truth is, you picked the wrong type of exercise. You need to be doing short burst training, like HIIT training. And it doesn't have to be burpees. It would be lovely, but it could be jumping jacks for 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 times through. That was 4 minutes. You can do that. I know you can. And that will be more effective than a 3-mile run. You should only be doing that if, say, you're training for a race, or you're doing it once or maybe twice a week for enjoyment, and or you're training for a race. Not for fat loss. Hear me, not for fat loss. You don't go for a run for fat loss. You do HIIT training and you do strength training, so that you know what strength training is. You're ripping some curls or whatnot. You need to do that at least 2 to 3 days a week. HIIT training at least 2 days a week, and it doesn't have to be for long. It's like 10 minutes. 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of HIIT training twice a week. You can do that, and I promise it will pack a punch in terms of helping you with fat loss. Because, I hope you asked why. I hope you're being a detective. It burns through the glycogen in your cells, which is sugar. And then once the sugar's gone, it starts burning into the fat. It will do that way faster with HIIT training or strength training than it will with a run. You might not even get it to do it with a run, because a run is using your aerobic system versus your anaerobic. More on that next week. Let's review. Weight loss, calorie restriction, I'm counting all my calories. If I just hit this number, I'm gonna achieve long-term weight loss. Versus fat loss. I don't count calories. I'm mindful of the food that I eat, and what really contributes to my fat loss is resetting your hormones. Insulin, ghrelin, leptin. That's using timed nutrition. I eat every 4 to 6 hours. I have decreased my carbs. I'm not afraid of carbs, but decreased them to 5 bites per meal until I see some results. And then you can start to add back more carbs, up to around 10 bites. And 10 bites is way easier to count than calories, right? Right. Let me see if I have anything else on my list. Oh, the Dutch test. Yes, I can post the Dutch test information in the comments if you want it. And I'll know you want it because you have lasted to the end of this video and you said, yes, I want the information for the Dutch test. All right, I'm gonna put my notes down here. Let me know what questions you have on your food relationship so that you can help yourself start to look at food as fuel. So you don't want to be scared of food. I don't either. So I know when I eat food, it's good. I'm going to eat it. It nourishes my body. I don't want to be scared to eat it. I don't want you to be scared to eat it. I also want you to achieve the fat loss that you're looking for. Fat loss versus weight loss. Fat loss is a lifestyle. Weight loss is a dieting program that will not last and make you pissed off. I love you, Fit Fam.